Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binaries of all ages, welcome to How to Make a Literal Cat in Your Favorite RPG. I hope you're not here to learn how to do character creation, the right way at least, because this is the Cat Creation Podcast. I am one of your hosts, my name's Joel.
I am the other one of your hosts, my name's Avalon.
Hello, Avalon.
Hello, Joel. How's it going?
It's going.
Where is it going?
To the gym, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, good for it. Getting to the gym, staying active.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but that's where it's going, I guess.
We'll figure it out later.
As for us, we're going to the gymnasium for the tournament arc.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That's the name of the game we're looking at today, by the way, audience, if you didn't know.
Yeah, Tournament Arc, Biscuit Fund Games, created by Chloe Montgomery and Alyssa Ridley. It is what it says it is. It's the tournament arc of sports and anime like sports, or your fight arc. It's the sports anime RPG.
Hey, everybody loves a good tournament arc in an anime, so why wouldn't they love a good tournament arc as an RPG?
Well, speak for yourself.
Okay, well, you know what? I will speak for myself. I enjoy a good tournament arc. Not all of them are great, but I think when they're done well, it's pretty neat.
I can't remember the last time I've seen one done well.
I liked My Hero Academia's tournament arc, like with their school game festival or whatever, right up until the end. Actually, other than that, I can't think of another tournament arc that I've watched really.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hey, not to diss on this game because I'm sure it's great and it also seems like it's more generally focused on sports anime to begin with. I am not trying to diss the game that we are about to make a cat in, but when it comes to tournament arcs in manga and anime, it really just seems like a lot of people use them as a way to shoehorn in a bunch of characters at once while showcasing what they can do in combat with no stakes.
I mean, if you gotta do it, I think that's the way to do it. Just let everybody go crazy for a couple of issues, and then we'll go back to our regularly scheduled programming.
I don't like it that way. I would rather you introduce the characters naturally as they would become relevant.
That is also incredibly valid. I think that would be the preferred way for a lot of people, but sometimes good, dumb fun is good.
Oh yeah, I'm all for good, dumb fun.
So I hope we can get to some good, dumb fun making this cat in this game.
Yeah, me too.
Starting off real big with the art, too. Very stylized.
Oh, yeah. Looking for credits to see if I can figure out where the cover and chapter art. Kaylee Rowena.
Shout out to you, Kaylee Rowena.
Or Rowena, maybe?
One of the two. But yeah, I dig it. It's got the anime vibes mixed with late 90s comic style. Maybe even further back than that. Either way, I dig it. It's cool. And I want to get into this character creation, but there's a problem. Before we look at the game's rules, we gotta look at our own rules, Joel.
Yeah, that's true.
Our cat creation rules.
Yeah, we do have some cat creation rules. They are there to keep the show on target, on brand, and, dare I say it, on cat.
He says it, and he's right.
I did dare to say it, and it was the right thing to do. I will stand by it.
Alright, well, you want to start us off with number 1?
Yeah, sure. Rule number 1 is we accept no cop-outs. We are making a cat. A cat will be the first thing that comes to mind when I say the word. No anthropomorphic races. No people turned into cats. No lions. No tigers. No cheetahs. I don't care how much TikTok tells you that they're easily domesticated and tamed. They don't count.
Yeah, why?
I've been getting a lot of cheetah as pet propaganda on TikTok.
It's a weird thing to get propaganda for, but
I know.
The love for cats sometimes transcends genus.
Sure.
Whichever one makes them look different. Either way, anyway, we gotta continue these rules. Rule number 2 is we cannot use homebrew/house rules. If the rules in the rulebook don't let us do something, we count it as a rule broken.
Yeah. Rule number 3. If the game includes stats for a literal cat, those must be used or adapted to the game's character sheet. I don't think that's the case here.
I doubt it.
I'm gonna be real with you, guys. I highly doubt that this cat will be a legitimately playable character, but we're gonna do our best.
We're gonna try. And you know what they say? Ain't nothing in the rules that say a cat can't play basketball.
Yeah, this might be the one time where we have to do Air Bud rules.
Alright, no stat for a literal cat. So we're on to rule 4. The character, class, background, playbook, job, what have you, must exist in the game's core rules or as part of an official expansion. We can't use homebrew classes because they're not real.
Yep.
And I do not believe, well, we're definitely not looking at an expansion today, but I don't even know if this game has one.
Oh, it's got a few.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
We've got 2 or 5, 6 expansion zines.
Love a good zine.
I think it's zine, because it's like magazine.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Anyway, no, it's only 5, my bad. Anyway, no, it is 6, I'm sorry.
Get it together, Joel.
I'm sorry, I just can't read.
It's alright, we all have trouble reading sometimes. If you've listened to the podcast before, surely you know about my trouble spelling.
Anyway, rule number 5, a cat can learn any skill available to its class, even if it's not something a cat could normally be trained to do. Nothing in the rulebook saying you can't train a cat to play basketball.
Exactly. Rule number 6 is, if a tool would be physically impossible for a literal cat to use, even if comically downsized for them, they cannot use it. So, I'm gonna say soccer gloves, a hockey stick, a baseball bat, other things. I'm gonna say etc. because I can't think of any more examples.
Fair enough. Rule number 7 is, if a character sheet has a section that is meant to be filled out in collaboration with the whole table, we leave that blank so potential players can make it fit the group they're playing with. Now, we may have some issues with this, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yep, because lastly, rule number 8 is, we have to keep track of every rule that we break.
Okay, actually, I guess we get into this right away, because this is the first thing.
Yeah.
So, step 1 of this is we're supposed to create a team. Now, the team is something you're supposed to do as a group. However, the team also determines what game you're playing. So I think we have to tie this cat to a team before we can do anything else.
Yes, we gotta do something.
And as much as I would love to roll on the D66 table here, I kind of think we should go through and find some things that would actually fit.
Yeah, because I'm looking on here right now. There's a few things that just absolutely will not work, like paintball, water polo, tennis.
Well, we've got cat guns.
We do have cat guns. Maybe paintball ain't out of the picture.
Not entirely. Oh, we've got some fun ones in here. We got MOBAs. We could make this cat a League of Legends addict.
I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy. There's poker. There's parkour.
There's parkour?
The cat would be great at that. There's drift racing. I think a cat would be great at that too.
Cat would love to drift race if you could make him a car that works. What is Karuta?
Googling it right now. Karuta are Japanese playing cards. Playing cards were introduced to Japan by Portuguese traders. Wait, are these literally just playing cards?
I guess we just need to know what the rules are. It looks like it's just kind of a basic, bridge deck almost. Not exactly, but something resembling, what would that be, a 52 card deck? I'm looking at that picture of the cards there in the corner.
Yeah, looks like it.
Because, when Portugal introduced the game or playing cards to Japan, it looks like they came up with, so it looks like it's just kind of a
48 card deck.
Oh, there we go. So it's not quite the same.
That was the first version of it. There are multiple versions of this.
Oh, okay. Well, who knows what type they're playing here. I don't know that it matters so much, but
maybe it's just card games, and because this is based off of the tournament arcs and animes, maybe they just put Karuta there for funsies.
We've also got Yu-Gi-Oh!, except they just call it magical card games.
Is that supposed to be Yu-Gi-Oh? I guess that makes sense.
I do think it is supposed to be Yu-Gi-Oh! I think it's supposed to be the anime version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where the cards actually come to life and stuff.
Okay. Got skateboarding.
Snowboarding.
Beauty contests. That could be a good one. Cheerleading, roller derby. You think a cat can use roller skates? I've seen a cat use a skateboard, but
a cat would probably struggle with roller skates, but with the proper training, which we logically declare that this cat has, you could strap wheels to a cat's feet.
Oh, absolutely. I think we could get away with saying that a cat can rollerblade, Who's to say a cat can't shred it?
We've definitely made skateboarding cats before.
Yeah.
Have we done a snowboarding cat?
I don't think so. I don't know if we've put a cat anywhere near snow.
Okay, I've got a few ideas just looking through this. First and foremost, basketball. Just because Just because we just do Air Bud as a cat, obviously. Martial arts and fighting. No one says the cat can't wrestle.
That could be good.
Yeah. Skateboarding or snowboarding. Either one.
Mm-hmm.
Magical card games. There's no reason a cat can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! In a world where the cards are actually magic.
That's true. It'd be so easy for a cat to play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
with that line of thinking.
I think the funniest possible option here is MOBAs.
Can we get a cat on the mouse and keyboard and throw them into League of Legends?
You could probably at least get it on the keyboard. I don't know that a cat could use a keyboard and mouse at the same time, even if comically downsized for them.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think of like adaptable like mice too, and even then I don't think they could.
Okay, potential argument. You do have adaptive controllers,
and
there is a very simple MMO out there called Pokemon Unite. So if you had an adaptive like accessibility controller for a cat for the Switch, then a cat could play Pokemon Unite.
That works for me.
Okay.
I think it could be done.
All right. If we want to go with the funniest possible option, then making a MOBA addict cat.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think...
What?
Now, I think we have to let the players decide the rest of the game, right? We can't decide the world for them.
Yeah, we leave the rest of it, I think, completely up to them.
Yeah.
Because they got to choose the world, like the team name, the team goals and stuff. They got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I think we let everyone else come up with everything else, and we just move on at this point and start making our MOBA addict cat.
Looking up mouse alternatives. Just
a lot of the time when you look at that stuff, they like add larger buttons, joysticks, trackpads, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that seems to be what you got in your results there.
Yep, selectable cursors. I think you could make a mouse that a cat could use. Like this one has the ball and then it has like two big buttons on the side. I think a cat could use that. Spin the ball and then click the button. Absolutely.
They need to manage the rest of the keyboard too, potentially. But also, if they're playing Pokemon Unite, then they can just use, like, the Xbox adaptive controller.
Oh, yeah.
Or something.
Easy peasy.
Why not? So, on to our thing. We first have to decide on a playbook. Now, we've got a strong contender right up front with the Underdog, which I know has dog in the name, but...
The Undercat, if you will.
Yeah, but this could easily be a character that nobody believes in, so...
Oh, for sure. Nobody believed in Air Bud when he played his first game.
Then they did. The next option, though, is the Ace, which is probably what it... defined by their confidence and their skill with the game. They truly believe they're the best and have a reputation to uphold that, like, to match. Everyone else knows they're the best too, basically.
Oh, okay. It's not just an I'm better than you situation. It's like genuine.
Yeah, and there's a lot of pressure on them to keep it up.
Oh, yeah.
Then we got the Heart, which also may be a strong contender. No I in team, but there's definitely a you and you're my best friends in the whole world. Is the descriptor for that.
Love that. Heart is all about others, a ball of emotional energy. They're the glue that keeps the team together. I could see this.
Yeah, that's, again, I think another strong contender.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the Brains, your guy with the glasses that always catch the reflection, and he's got all the information, all the stats on all the players.
Yep. They can put together a plan on the spot, notice subtle cues, or remember deep technical details.
And we got the Wild Card.
The Wild Card.
I think this is the literal Air Bud playbook. The wild card is an enigma, even to their own team. Their techniques are self-taught, their style unpredictable, their motives hazy.
Oh my god, that kind of sounds perfect, though.
Yeah, if you wanted to make Air Bud in this game, I think you'd have to do the wild card, right?
Oh, yeah.
Finally, though, we have the Lancer. You're either the best or in the best way, and you don't look like you're the best at anything. The Lancer is here for the game first, and the team a distant fourth. While their interests may align with their teammates on the field, their own motivations lie elsewhere. I think we do either the Underdog or the wild card, personally.
Let me take a good look at these real quick. Wild card looks pretty good. Underdog. Man, this is so hard to choose. I feel like wild card makes the most sense. I mean, how would you react if you pulled up to a League of Legends tournament, you set your mouse and keyboard down, you look across from you, and there is a cat? sitting in that chair. Headset on, mic'd up, laser focused.
Disney, Riot, get on this Air Bud adaptation yesterday.
Get on it. Make sure to credit us, please. This is the new age Air Bud.
Anyone other than Disney, get at us and we will help you, like, figure out the cat thing. Just imagining so many games that are just that one meme of the lady yelling at the cat at the dinner table.
Think about the marketable plushies you could make.
Exactly.
It'd be so easy. This is an absolute layup to anybody who wants to make a spiritual successor to Air Bud.
Absolutely.
And for a more technological age, I mean, come on. It's right there.
Yeah.
All right, so do we want to go wild card then?
Yes, absolutely. Let's do it.
All right.
So, I'm scrolling back up here to see if we got any advice on how to go through the playbooks.
Yeah, I was trying to look for that earlier. I did not see any, steps or anything.
I think we're supposed to just follow through the playbook here, then.
Yeah, I think we're just supposed to go down in order.
Yeah.
So, the top one says play to find out.
Which means that we don't decide it now, I don't think.
Yeah, but the questions are, what kind of stuff can you do when you put your mind to it? How far can you push your team before they push back? And is the game really worth your time? Up next, easy, what's your name?
3 first names, a tangle of numbers, a name that's inconveniently long, or initials and only initials.
Oh, I want to go inconveniently long.
Yes!
Because I'm thinking of somebody naming their cat, like people name their cats, crazy stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I don't know, John Von Hammerhead Bartholomew III.
Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau.
That's really good. That is long and complicated.
Yeah, it's also a Disco Elysium reference.
Nice. Love that. What is that?
Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau.
Thank you. All right. Pronouns. I'm assuming he, him.
Yeah.
He sits in his room. He's like, I'm he, but not him, because I'll never be him. And he longingly looks at a picture of Air Bud.
Has the whole DVD box set, including all the Air Buddies.
Yep. Were Air Buddies the actual kids of Air Bud?
Yes. There was one of the later Air Bud movies, maybe the last one, I can't remember exactly which. A neighbor moved in with a female golden retriever, and the end of the movie had them, having a cookout together, and the dogs were sitting with their puppies.
Oh.
I watched all the Air Bud movies, by the way.
I believe it. I don't even think I've seen all the Air Bud movies. I know I've seen the first 2, and I saw a couple of the Air Buddies movies.
I only saw the first Air Buddies. They just produced those things way too fast for me to keep up, and by the time I had the ability to do so, I was aged out of it.
Yeah, I feel like they released one of those a year per 6 or 7 years.
Oh, they released so many of those things. Yeah, it was at least one a year. Actually, did they ever stop technically?
I don't know, because didn't they end up just CGIing the dogs?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, Air Buddies. There's 7 of them, not including the Santa Paws.
Which is another 2.
Yeah, which is another 2, so 9. Also, just some absolute banger titles from the Air Bud franchise, by the way. I want to point this out. We have Air Bud, classic, Air Jordan, huge at the time. Air Bud makes sense. Then we have Air Bud Golden Receiver.
Right.
Incredible work since it's about football.
Yeah.
Air Bud World Pup. That's their soccer one. Air Bud 7th Inning Fetch for their baseball. And then Air Bud Spikes Back for volleyball. Yeah. Just, wow. They had that on lock.
So wait, that was World Pup was only the 3rd. I thought that was the last one. Because that's where the puppies come in.
Yeah, they're here on the cover. But no, there was 2 more after the puppies came in. And then they didn't start Air Buddies until 2006. And World Pup came out in 2000.
There you go, everyone.
we gotta move on from Air Buddies. We're gonna keep coming back to it because that's our baseline right now.
Yeah,
we gotta make this cat his own person.
Yeah.
Howdy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to the mid-roll.
Welcome to the mid-roll. We've got news. Actually, we don't have news this time. I lied.
It's kind of news. It's not breaking news or anything, but it's news. It might be news to you if you're a new listener.
I don't know. Is Pride Month news to anyone? Like, that's the only special thing going on, is it's the second half of Pride Month.
It might be news to somebody's grandparents.
Oh, yeah. And apparently Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yep.
All that. Guys, you want to fight the male loneliness epidemic, go find your guy friends and kiss them on the lips. Especially if you are also a guy.
Yep, this is the month
it's
to do it.
It's in theme for both seasons.
Yeah. You wanna knock out this month in one fell swoop, go kiss your guy friends.
Yeah. Anyway. Man, I was worried we weren't going to have anything to say for this mid-roll, and we nailed it. We nailed it. That was perfect.
Yeah, this is great so far. But enough about kissing the homies. We should talk about the show.
Yep. First and foremost, this is a podcast. It is a thing that you listen to in your ears with an audio playing device. You probably downloaded it from somewhere, or are listening to it in your friend Kevin's red Ford F-150 from 2005. I think my dad had a red F-150 from 2005 at one point.
It's a popular truck. My dad had a dark gray F-150 that actually he still has. It's got 200,000 miles on it. It's crazy.
Hey, if it still works.
It starts and it gets from point A to point B. That's about it.
Well, that sounds like it works. Congrats, Kevin, on your red Ford F-150 that also does the same thing. And your buddy James, who's in the car with you, you know what to do. We just told you a minute ago.
Yep. And James, since you're a new listener, we'll give you this one for free. If you want to know more about this great show that you're listening to, you can go over to badgertrove.com/literalcatpod, and there you can find some more information about the show, some of the episodes, other stuff.
Yeah. And if you like this show and you like the fact that we just got your friend to kiss you on the lips, then you can go follow us on social media by looking up Literal Cat Pod. That works on YouTube, Tumblr, and Blue Sky.
You see all the crazy things we post over there.
It's mostly news about the show.
Yeah, mostly. Not news like this mid-roll has been news, though. Trust. Just...
Yeah, we tell you what episodes to expect and when new ones arrive, just in case you don't automatically download them. Which, hey, you should do that.
Yeah, you should do that. Go into your little podcasting app and go click that automatic downloads. And, while you're there, you should also go click on the rate and review section.
Yeah, rate us 5 stars. You got my friend to come out of the closet and kiss me on the lips in one episode. I feel like that's worth a 5-star rating.
That's gotta be worth 5 stars. That'd be worth 6 stars. I mean,
they don't go that high. I'm sorry to tell you.
One thing.
Anyway,
rating and reviews help a lot. So if you feel generosity in your heart and you want to help us out, then by all means, go for it.
Yeah. Then, if you feel so moved, our show's anniversary is coming up in one episode. July is the anniversary month of the podcast. We will be doing a special lightning round in the second half of the month to celebrate. It is the perfect time to help us get our annual podcast birthday cake fund. This isn't a real thing, but we do have a Patreon.
Yeah. Yes, we do have a Patreon, but we probably won't buy a cake for a podcast that can't celebrate a birthday, but we can.
Yeah. Podcasts do not eat cakes. Although I imagine there is someone out there who does a cake eating podcast, just like, the mukbang thing, and then they review the cakes.
Oh, there's gotta be. There's a podcast for everything.
There really is these days.
That's the new, there's an app for everything. There's a podcast for everything now.
Yeah, it's just in the last, decade, it seems like people stopped starting bands in their garages and started making podcasts in their garages and all that, and all these other observations that a million other people have already made. And what were we talking about? Oh, yeah.
Our show that's cool and unique.
I mean, we did kind of carve out an interesting niche here. Anyway, go to patreon.com/badgertrove and give us your money. I don't know. There's got to be a politer way to say that. We'll give you stuff in return.
Yeah, you give us a couple bucks. We give you the show's schedule. We give you some community posts. And in the future, when we've got some more people, at higher tiers, we'll give you a little live listen of our recordings.
Yeah, but we're not there yet. So, let's just focus on what you have right now. there is a recording of a playtest of an RPG that I am very, very probably unrealistically slowly working on that we are just calling Cheese Heist at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Unreleased to the general public. You can listen to it for $5. You can listen to episodes up to 1 week early at the $5 tier. At the $2 tier, you get access to our schedule, which has episode release dates on it that are not revealed to the general public for sometimes months at a time. If you want to see who our tentative guests are, that is the place to look.
Yep, you can get all the juicy deets first. So if you're a fan of receiving tea, that's where to get it for this show.
Yeah. Personally, the only tea I like is Liberty. Ever since I got back into Helldivers 2.
That is the best kind of tea in Helldivers.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Right, our show. I think the only thing that's left to mention right now that's important is literalcatpod@gmail.com. That is our email address. If you have any business concerns you would like to discuss with us, email them there. If you want to recommend a game for us to play on the show, email them there. If you have pictures of cats that are your cats or just pictures that you found that you really like and you think we should see them, you can email them there.
Yes, please do so. Again, literalcatpod@gmail.com. We will be watching for those cat pics.
Yes. If you want your cat to get shouted out on the podcast and maybe even turned into a character, if we remember that you submitted them, then do it.
Yeah.
We will shout out your cat.
Yeah, no loss, all gains. Your cat could be famous.
Could be. To approximately 150 people who aren't actually going to see it. Unless you post the pictures publicly in our Discord by going to badgertrove.com/Discord.
Yep, you can get in on some cool discussions over there, talk to other fans of the podcast.
But more importantly than any of that, the Cat Pictures channel has not seen an update in months. Since September of 2024, to be exact.
Oh, we gotta change that.
Yeah.
So, if you want to be the change, join the Discord.
Yeah, be the change you want to see in the world, guys. And the change we want to see in the world is pictures of your cats.
Absolutely.
I think that's everything we got to talk about for the show, though.
Yes.
So, I guess, Avalon, what's your socials?
You can catch me mostly on Blue Sky at Avalon Alchemist, but you can also find me on Twitch at Avalon Alchemist. Streamed a little bit of Night Rain. I recently, as of this recording, streamed some Uno with Joel and some other fellow streamers. But I'm looking to start some more stuff when I've got the time. Don't currently have a schedule yet, but we'll get there. For now, just hit the follow button and you'll see when my notifications pop up. You'll have the notifications turned on, right?
Yeah, we totally all leave all of our Twitch streamer notifications on for all... How many am I following right now? 50?
Yeah, everybody leaves all of them on. I've never turned those off for anybody.
Anyway, you can also follow me on Twitch or other social media sites at OmamerVT. Just be aware there might be some occasional talk about sludge and tentacles if you follow me.
That's true. That's why I don't open Blue Sky in public. No, I'm kidding. It's not that bad.
Hey, I don't post anything NSFW. I don't even share anything NSFW.
That's true. I can confirm Joel has never put anything saucy on my timeline.
No. Now, I do have some friends who do, but that's their business, not mine.
Yeah. Be cool, guys.
Yeah, be cool. It's Pride Month.
Up next on our playbook is the What's Your Style? Choose 2. We've got a lot of things here. Scratched sunglasses, scarred fingers, bitten nails, tight jeans, chewed toggles.
I don't know, man.
Leather jacket, sewn-on patches, jailbroken phone, sleeve tattoo.
Absolutely got that.
A jailbroken phone or a sleeve tattoo?
Jailbroken phone.
A t-shirt for a rock opera that no one else has ever heard of.
No.
A cigarette behind the ear.
Yes!
A messenger bag. You think a cigarette behind the ear and a jailbroken phone?
Yeah, that's the kind of cat we're working with here. He's playing MOBAs.
He is playing MOBAs. He is sitting at his computer fucking chain smoking.
Oh, no, he doesn't smoke it. It just sits behind his ear.
Oh, it just sits there. Okay.
Yeah.
But
also,
ironic.
he does hacks.
He does hacks. Oh my gosh.
At least he knows the hacks. He stays clean for the love of the game.
So that he doesn't get disqualified.
Yeah. He will do nothing to jeopardize his spot on this team, except give up the cigarette behind the ear.
Yeah, he's not allowed to bring that into the tournament. They're like, hey, you can't smoke in here. It's like, brother, I don't even have a lighter. You don't got worry. So we have our style, jailbroken phone, because I think that's the only way a cat could get a working phone, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Than a cigarette behind the ear. Why do you play? I like to humiliate serious players. It's gotta be that, right?
Yeah, it's the best one we got here.
My mom, so the other ones are simply for fun, something to burn my free time. My mom introduced me to it. It's what I did as a kid, and honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Okay, my mom introduced me to it, or it's what I did as a kid, also makes sense if we're saying this cat is actually, like, inspired by Air Bud.
Yeah, I think mom introduced me to it is really good, because I'm imagining this cat sitting on this person's lap as they're playing League of Legends or whatever, and just like the cat reaches up at one point during the game, smacks the alt button, gets like a pentakill. It's like, oh my god, how'd you do that, cat?
I imagine that this cat was raised by a Twitch streamer.
Just on stream all the time.
Yeah.
I love that. Alright, let's...
They went AFK to use the bathroom one time, came back, the cat had already won the game for them.
They finished out their promo series. I love this. What makes you the wild card? I feel like a few things could make this cat the wild card.
Yeah.
Nobody knows how to read me. I'm entirely self-taught. I'm pretty fast and loose. I'm stressful for my teammates. There's a distance between the team and me, and my independence is vital. Ooh.
So, nobody knows how to read me, or I'm stressful for my teammates, I feel like are probably, like, the best ways to go. Because we haven't established that this cat can talk.
Oh, that's true.
The cat can play. It can probably, like, follow, like, team plays and stuff. But, like, it's a cat.
Yeah, that cat is not telling you when to do Baron, alright? He is there to just... I don't know. He's farming jungle or something.
Yeah.
Honestly, that would be the best position for this cat, because he could just run around. Teammates would only have to pay attention when he comes up. But I think nobody knows how to read me is probably the best one.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, again, you roll up to a competition and they're looking at a cat across the keyboard and they're like, why?
Ref, do some... Get the, like, ref.
Ref, do some... I can, he's signed up. Nothing in the rules that says a cat can't play League of Legends.
Yeah. Alright, and then I'm guessing this next one on here must be the playbook specific question. What talent defines you? Pick one that everyone knows and one that no one knows. So our options are pole dancing, model making, competitive solitaire, welding, furry art commissions, a deep knowledge of contemporary politics, airsoft guns, horticulture, or a hipster instrument.
These are some choices.
I feel like furry art commissions would be a good, like... Okay, from these, I think competitive solitaire and furry art commissions are probably the two. I don't know which one would be funnier for him to be known for.
Oh, that's such a... Man.
He's either, like, a pro League of Legends and solitaire player who secretly does furry art commissions under an alias, or a pro League of Legends player who also just openly does furry art commissions under an alias, and then also just so happens to participate in a competitive solitaire league that nobody knows about.
Oh, I think it would be really funny to have the one that is known being the furry art commissions, because there's probably people out there like, who better to do a furry art commission than a fucking cat?
Yeah.
Because also, like, the one that no one knows being competitive solitaire would be... It's like, oh yeah, in front of everybody, he's like, oh yeah, I only play action games, I'm real big into like Valorant or something too. And then they just don't know he's an old man at heart.
No, what I think would be funny is, like, the furry art commissions, terrible, absolutely awful, no technique, no style, but everyone buys them because he's a famous cat.
I think that would be the case. They're like, if I had the opportunity to hire a famous cat to paint something for me, I would absolutely take it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I would let this cat design my fursona, and I'm not even a furry.
Alright, But our known is the furry art commissions. What's our unknown?
I still think competitive solitaire would be funny. Now, who's important to you?
Me, my dealer, the occult club, the cute clerk at the local theater, my 3 tarantulas, the YouTuber I learned the game from, the rest of my polycule, or my oldest and best friend who is way too cool for me. Oh, wait, sorry. Or my modern artist auntie.
My modern artist auntie is a good, that could be the Twitch streamer owner, right? Who also does art commissions, potentially.
Oh, yeah. That's how this cat got his start.
Yeah.
What's our second? Who's next up and most important?
Me could be a good answer, but, also kind of a boring one.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Kind of like the cute clerk at the local theater. Because I'm imagining, a bodega cat type deal where, they just have a cat at the theater that's, at the clerk's office that just kind of hangs out.
Okay.
He keeps that cigarette behind his ear because he's like, yeah, chicks think smoking is cool,
I was thinking the YouTuber I learned the game from, just make it Markiplier. Then when someone franchises this out, they can just hire Markiplier to show up but no,
has Markiplier even ever touched League of Legends? Do we know this?
Oh, I don't think he has. No, but your thing is better.
I'll put it down. I gotta know that.
Oh, he has played it, apparently.
He has played League of Legends, apparently, yeah. There's one video about it that is 10 minutes long, and then the next one that pops up is a video by him titled LOL No You Uno. So if he has played it, he has not played it much.
Well, there you go. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him for getting out of there.
Every once in a while, I think about getting back into Pokemon Unite, since I have Zeraora.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if they've done, a second distribution of that one.
I have no idea.
I guess it doesn't matter, since I do already have it, but...
Yeah, it's been a while since I kept up with Pokemon Unite. I never actually played it, but I watched a bunch of people get into it.
I had some friends who were into it when it first came out. Actually, one of them might still be playing.
Nice.
Should ask him sometime.
Probably. Okay, so we have who's most important to you. The next one says ask someone at the table, so we're going to have to leave that blank. But the questions are, what did we do after our last game, or why do you hang out with me?
Yeah, so that's the thing, Avalon said, do with the table, not on your own. And then it gives us some tips for, role-playing. Don't be weird just for the sake of being weird. Never be afraid to surprise the table, but make sure everyone's okay with what you're doing. Try not to be a spotlight hog. Let other players make unexpected moves. And make your character fallible and relatable. Well, that last one's gonna be hard, but...
What? Who finds it hard to relate to a cat?
I don't know. Air Bud was not popular because he was relatable. Air Bud was popular because he was a dog playing basketball.
That is totally fair.
It was the other characters who were relatable.
The human characters, the side characters, if you will.
Yeah, like the older brother who learned that his dog was better at the one sport he knew how to do good.
I saw a TikTok about this, but I still think about it. It's the kid that comes home after not getting on to the basketball team. They come home, they sit down, they're all looking dejected and everything. Their parent comes up, it's like, hey bud, how'd the tryouts go? And he's like, there was this fucking dog that showed up, took my spot. God, it's so funny to think about, but I would hate to be that child. You think getting picked last for dodgeball is bad? Imagine losing a spot on a basketball team to something without opposable thumbs. Okay, so those are the tips. The lure. What is the lure?
Everyone has their own lure, I think. Whenever I rouse someone up, they get a token as the Lancers. The one for the wild card is whenever I open somebody's mind. So I'm guessing that means just bring them around. They're cool with it now. With us, I mean.
Yeah.
With our unconventional style and our dangerous swagger and all that.
Dangerous swagger?
I don't know what else to call it.
Sorry, I just think swagger being dangerous is just a funny concept to me.
We're a cat. I don't know. I just threw words together. What do you want from me?
No, nothing.
Okay.
I just want you to be you.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course, anytime. Up next, we have our rewarding moves and our complicating moves. So they require us to spend a token.
I think we just get all of these to start with, though, is the nice thing.
Yeah, we do. I believe so. It doesn't say anything about not. because it doesn't say like choose one or two.
Yeah, nope, it just tells us to spend a token to use one. So I think we can just list them all on the character sheet and then...
Got you.
Do you want to read the rewarding moves? And
Sure, I can do that. So our rewarding moves that require you to spend a token are run rings around someone else, counter another plan, do something bloody brilliant, the British is coming out,
oh no,
bounce back from defeat, lead by example, or ask what would turn this situation around. I'm assuming that's like an ask the GM type situation.
Probably, yeah. Then we also have complicating moves, where if we do them, we gain a token, which is get way too cocky, make an amateur mistake, mix up priorities, lose track of your friends, make everyone uncomfortable, or ask the GM, how can I make this way harder than it needs to be?
Way harder, huh?
Yeah, it says way harder.
Why would you want to make the situation harder?
To get tokens.
You know what? Fair.
And I believe that's the end of the playbook.
It is. There's a section here for legacies, and it's blank for all the character sheets. I don't know if we have to do anything with that.
Let's see. There's a thing down here after the playbooks. Friendly game, unexpected rivals or friends. At the end of each of the episode, each player chooses one. Increase or decrease any relationship by an additional 1 RP. You got injured. The next episode is an injury, consequences, and conflict. A character who is introduced in this episode will come back later. Someone, most likely a spectator, notices your performance. So these are all like, if you go through, there's a whole bunch of scenarios that they throw at you, basically. And every single one of them has a legacy option at the end of it.
So I think, yeah, it sounds like these are ways to tie into the other episodes, essentially. Because, like, the you got injured one automatically makes your next episode an injury, consequences, and conflicts. The legacy for recruiting new blood, the search for a new teammate, is like, which applicants made the cut, which applicants weren't good, which applicants were surprisingly good or surprisingly awful. And then it sounds like later you use those characters in other episodes.
Yeah, what it kind of sounds like is like your legacy basically just becomes your role-playing cue, the plot that your character then follows in the following episode.
Yep, there are a lot of episodes. That's cool, though.
Well, it's a whole tournament arc, you know.
Oh, yeah. Tournament, I mean, like I said, the only real one I've seen is the one from My Hero Academia, and that was like a whole season.
Oh, I just thought of a good tournament arc. Yu Yu Hakusho's.
I have not seen Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh my god, you have to see Yu Yu Hakusho.
I'll put it on my list. Oh, I thought of another tournament arc I've seen. I'm stupid. Duh. The effing Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super. That's a good tournament arc.
I didn't watch Dragon Ball.
I kid you not. I watched a lot of Dragon Ball as like a kid. You know, I would watch it when it was on. So it was like Dragon Ball Z. But the only things I've seen from Super are the Broly movie and the Tournament of Power. And, you know, honestly, that's all you need to see. Watch like a little snippet to get caught up on the Tournament of Power. Watch the Tournament of Power. Watch the Broly movie. There you go. You're done.
There you go.
I mean, that's what I did, and I had a good time. I didn't have to sit through 500 episodes of character development. Who wants to get to that boring stuff when I can watch somebody throw bombs at other people for half an hour? Or I can watch them count down from 5 for 8 episodes in a row. I kid you not, there's like I don't think it's that many, but there's like a 2 or 3 episode stretch where like they say the time left in the tournament at the end of each episode. You go through like 23 minutes of all this fighting and stuff, and it's like the end of the last episode is like there's 24 minutes remaining, and the end of that current episode after 23 more minutes is like there's 23 minutes remaining. How will they get through this?
So the whole episode took place over 1 minute?
Yeah, basically. Because it's like, well, this was happening, and then, well, that was happening, this was happening. And, but it's cool. It all comes back around. You just gotta suspend your disbelief for a bit.
Well, there you go.
Right.
Anyway, I don't think we actually technically had to break any rules, oddly enough.
I don't think we did.
I don't know how we pulled that off, but, you know.
I think, I mean, just the wackiness of anime in general, and this being pretty based on anime tropes and stuff, it just makes, like, any character super easy to make.
Fair enough. we also did have the option to choose the game that we're playing. So, like...
Yes. So I think that... I don't know if that counts as a rule broken, because I believe... Yeah, it says choose the game you're playing. It can be anything you'd like, or you can use the sport generation table if you're stuck for ideas.
And, you know, technically, like, we came up with kind of a background for this character based around one specific sport and worked off that for building it, but technically there's nothing in the playbook that specifically ties a character to a specific game, so if you wanted to use this for a different game, you probably still could.
Yeah, I think you get away with it, because a lot of it is just character personality development until you get into the actual game. And, you know, I think they probably purposefully did that for the playbooks. That way you're not like, oh, if we're playing basketball, I have to play the ace character. Or like, oh, if we're doing skateboarding, the Lancer is the best option,
right.
You know?
And, like, it does make sense that, like, every playbook needs to be able to work with every possible game, and therefore no playbook could give you options that wouldn't be compatible with a specific game. And also, it seems like most of the, like, playbook stuff is more about deciding, like, your character's personality and, like, their style, rather than, like, determining, like, their skills in the game.
Oh, yeah, style is a huge part of sports, you know?
Well, it's a huge part of sports anime, I'll give it that.
Yeah. All right. Well, no rules broken. Cat created.
Airbud talked about extensively. I think we made an episode.
We could get into the lore if we want, but we don't got time for that.
I'd have to rewatch Airbud, the original, to be able to get to the lore anyway. So, but anyway, Avalon, you got a cat pun for us?
Yeah, I do. What is a tired cat's go-to for waking up in the morning? Go-to drink.
Red Bull?
So close. It's a coffee.
Oh. I don't think that was close at all, actually.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, I just wanted to make you feel better.
Oh, thank you.